Hey, how are you, Bulldogs fans? Glad to have you tuning into another week here at the Summer Shift presented by Sunsport Recreation. I'm your host, Kael Clark, and we would like to now welcome in yet another guest, another returning player for your Blackfalds Bulldogs, Antoine Gauthier. Great to have you joining us here today, and just tell us what your favorite thing is to do in the summer, especially back home in Ottawa, Ontario.
Thanks for having me, first off. And I'd say as of late, my thing for the summer is especially getting out on the lake and going on the boat. I really like it. We actually don't have a cottage, but we're fortunate to have so many friends and family with cottages. So it seems like every second weekend or so, we're getting invited to go up somewhere, and it's just always a good time. And on top of that, just with my training in Manotick with Tony Greco, having a lot of fun there. And it's fun, it's motivating, and putting the work in on top of being at the lake. So with that and just a little bit of travel this summer, it's great.
Yeah, you're telling us a little bit off air before we got on here that you're doing a lot of traveling. It's been actually a busy summer. So fill us in. What's been going on in your world?
Yeah, I just been fortunate. I'd set up my first trip with my girlfriend. Actually, we ended up going to France and to Spain, so
Oh,
that was great. And I actually have an uncle who lives there, so it brought the cost down quite a bit to make it affordable for us to go. But with that too, I've also got a little trip coming up where my sister is going to work in Japan for a couple months. So we're just going to settle her in, and we're going to go with her. So that'll be a good time.
we obviously had a pretty big election a few months ago. I kind of want to just bring that back to speed a little bit for you. You're from Ottawa, Ontario. What's it like in the city when you got a big federal election going on like that?
For me personally, it doesn't affect me too much because I live in Orleans, which is a suburb about 20 minutes from downtown,
Okay.
which is in the east end of Ottawa. But all of my training and all the skating and my gym is in the west end. So I go through downtown just about every day or every second day when I'm going. So personally, there hasn't been too much that's affected me personally. But I did think that it was cool when Sir Charles came in because they did seem to make a pretty big deal about that. And that was pretty interesting.
Well, we know it's summertime, Anton, and curious to know what your go-to barbecue item is that you absolutely love to crush in the summertime. What is it?
Yeah, so it's easily the chicken kebabs. It's not even close. My aunt's father, who lives in Toronto, they own a butcher shop, and whenever they come down to Ottawa, we rack up quite the tab because we're buying just about everything he sells, because it's pretty good stuff, and I just know that when we get those on the barbecue, can hammer down at least half a dozen.
What's going on those kebabs? Is it some kind of spice, some kind of barbecue sauce? What do you guys usually put on those?
It's honestly, I think the like killer thing is the homemade tzatziki. I think
Ooh.
that that's really what does it. And the kebabs themselves are good, but then when you put it with the tzatziki, it's just that's it. It's the best.
So apparently Ottawa is known for their shawarmas and even the beaver tails. Have you tried either one? And if so, what's your go-to shawarma or beaver tail if you had to pick?
Because the past 2 years I've been away from home for the hockey season, it's been a while since I've been home to have a beaver tail, but I'll tell you that you can't beat a good beaver tail, especially when you're skating on the canal. And then you go and you stop and you get your hot chocolate, and then you get the Nutella beaver tail with the cinnamon. It's to die for.
I'm glad you actually brought up the Rideau Canal. Curious to know, in your own humble opinion, is it better in the summertime or the wintertime?
I'd say in the wintertime for skating, I'm biased, but I going for a nice bike ride along the canal in the summer is just really good, and especially if the weather's nice, you can make quite the day out of it. So I think it's good year round. In the fall, you've got the leaves. In the spring, well, I have allergies, so I'm not too crazy about it, but aside from that, it's good.
So the summer shift is presented by Sunsport Recreation, a great spot to rent some boats, and you can head out on the Sylvan Lake and get your summer fun all on the lake, get your sunshine and everything that you need. The vitamin D so important here in the summertime. With the canal, if you could rent from a Sea-Doo, a paddleboard, maybe a speedboat, wakeboard boat, pontoon boat, what are you taking on the canal if you had the choice?
I'd probably go with the speedboat because it's so narrow. And I
Yeah.
think that just like going down the canal, you'd feel like you're in a James Bond movie or something. And I think that it would just be fun to kind of go down and probably get some funny reactions too. So
Now that we shift our focus to hockey, I mean, yeah, summer's pretty much halfway over already, and we want to know what is something that you're hoping to work on and improve on your game for next year.
I think that the biggest thing for me to help the team and just the way that I can contribute is to just keep working on my size and keep also like being a player who my game is predominantly on speed. So I think being able to be like big and fast, I think that that's a dangerous combination. And then as well as just keep working on the playmaking abilities, being useful on the power play, those types of things that I'm looking forward to come back next year and have an impact. So.
Well, Antoine, it's been a pleasure. We appreciate you taking the time today out of your day to just chat with us and join us on the summer shift. Thanks again, buddy. Hope you have a great rest of your summer. We're excited to see you next season.
Yeah, thank you for having me and looking forward to being back.
Stay tuned for another weekly episode of the Summer Shift presented by Sunsport Recreation. We'll have another player join us next week. See you then.
Every morning, I'm a big egg guy. Usually 3 to 4 eggs every morning. Yeah, it gets the day started right. I like the back squat. It's one of my favorite things to do in the summer, I guess. Pretty challenging, but it's also feel good after you do it.
How much do you squat?
Keep that one on the low right now.